Hungary-Portugal has finished 3-0 to Portugal, but it wasn't looking certain at all that Portugal win this game until the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, the game got turned on its head. But Hungary were very good value for money today. They did what Sweden should have done yesterday for 80 minutes. They played with energy and they played for each other. They had a lot of energy, and they at times it looked like they wanted it more in the second half. At periods in the second half, they were the team with momentum. The first half, Portugal weren't flowing. Hungary had less possession, but they were breaking up the play. There was a lot of bitty fouls, a lot of stoppages, and that played into the Hungarian hands. There was no pace to the game. The fact that the Puskás Stadium in Budapest was at capacity, yes, you had to have a negative COVID test or a vaccination to get into the stadium, but a full stadium for the first time in a year and a half, something that we've missed. And that atmosphere was electric. And I think that helped the Hungarian team and might motivate the Portuguese as well to up their game. Because at half time, Diogo Jota had several chances. Ronaldo was surprisingly quiet and was well marked by the Hungarians and wasn't really in the game. You had Bruno Fernandes in there, had 4 silvers at one point on the pitch for Portugal. Mad that. But it took until the second half for the game to start raising in intensity and in pace. And the Hungarians, I think, helped with that. They raised their game and they actually got braver and braver and started creating more chances of their own. And Sean had a goal disallowed for offside on 80 minutes. Now, the build-up play is brilliant by Hungary. They're playing with energy and intensity themselves and catching Portugal out because Portugal haven't settled. And this is what's weird. Last night in the Spain-Sweden game, this is how Sweden should have played. If Sweden had played with that kind of intensity in their press and in the midfield battle, they might have sneaked a 1-0 win. Because Sweden was so negative and so passive, and Spain was so wasteful, that was a really poor game. This game it was bitty. It wasn't free-flowing at times. It was very stop-start, and there was a lot of niggly fouls. But Hungary were playing with energy and intent. They had a game plan, disrupt the Portuguese flow, disrupt the Portuguese rhythm, frustrate the Portuguese, and the Portuguese were giving away a lot of silly fouls themselves. The goal is correctly ruled offside, but that woke Portugal up because Rafael Guerreiro scores the first via a deflection. I will admit that. The deflection wrong-foots the goalkeeper. If there isn't a deflection on that, there is no goal, and it's still 0-0. And that happened on 83 minutes. The goal's disallowed on 80 minutes. 3 minutes later, Portugal have a penalty, and lo and behold, guess who steps up? That's it, Cristiano Ronaldo. He breaks Platini's record that has stood since 1984, where he scored 9 goals in a tournament. Ronaldo now has 10 goals in the Euros. He was about to get 11 as well. In the space of a couple of minutes, the game has gone from a disallowed Hungarian goal, which would have made it 1-0, to 2-0 to Portugal. And then in deep and added time, Ronaldo scores his second. And he's having a quiet game, apparently. It wasn't until the last 5-6 minutes that Ronaldo came to life and found the space. Yes, he takes a penalty and he scores that penalty, but his second goal, that's good passing and movement. The Hungarians are still battling until the end. They didn't let their heads drop, even when they went 1-0 down and 2-0 down. They kept going until the final whistle. But that pass and movement, they're saying Ronaldo's lost an inch of pace. He probably has, but it's his aggressive forward run when he passes the ball off to then go round the keeper, round the defender, and slots it in the net and caps off, I think, an unfair scoreline to Hungary because they created their own problems and they had a goal disallowed, which Rui Patricio is probably glad was disallowed because that was a very weak hand. On his near post. He shouldn't be conceding goals on your near post as a goalkeeper of his quality. And that's what Spain should have done last night, and that's probably what Sweden should have done last night. That was a very entertaining last 10 minutes. It really turned the game on its head. But the energy levels of both sides were pretty good throughout, and the energy from the crowd, I think, helped with that. It is a pity Hungary could get nothing out of this game. This is the group of death. We've got France playing Germany in an hour's time, and that looks set to be very titanic clash between 2 very big European rivals. And ironically, in competition football, France actually don't have a great record against Germany, but overall, head-to-head, France actually have a very good record against Germany in competitive matches. So that's really interesting that when it comes to the tournament side of things, Germany are pretty good. When it comes to qualifying for the tournament, France have it pretty good. So there's rumours of discontent in both those camps. It will be interesting to see what actually transpires, but on going back to this game, Ronaldo now has the record for 11 tournament goals. He's now chasing down the international goal scoring record, which he could break at this tournament. He could break it. He's now second all time for international goals. If there's any argument about who is the GOAT, Ronaldo is making that argument now. You could argue at club level, Messi might be the better player. At international level, I think Ronaldo, is edging it now. And if we're talking about the GOAT of all time, everyone can debate on era. Oh, it's so it's Maradona, it's Pele, it's Beckenbauer, Ronaldo. I think Cristiano, not the Brazilian Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's staking a claim to possibly be the GOAT. But everyone's got their differing opinions. Let's see how Portugal do the rest of this tournament. They are the holders. No holder has won it back-to-back apart from Spain in 2008 and 2012. It's very hard to win back-to-back titles. Spain won 3 in a row with 2 Euros and a World Cup. France did it with the Euros and a World Cup. Let's see if Portugal can do back-to-back Euros, which is, again, as I say, very near on impossible with this tournament. Only one team's ever done it. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I look forward to France-Germany. If that last 10 minutes can be replicated at any point in the France-Germany game, we could have an entertaining thriller. But there's rumours of discontent in the France camp. There's rumours of discontent in the German camp. Poor build-up by Germany, France, World Cup holders. Can they emulate what their predecessors in 98-2000 did with Didier Deschamps was a player? Be interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.